Yeah, I honestly cannot believe it is finally the time, but we are officially here. Yay! We have submitted our application for the US finally after like over 3 months of work. It felt like even longer, to be honest. Yeah, that means the waiting game has officially started and the countdown is on. It feels so surreal to say that out loud after all the month of preparation. Yeah, working with our lawyer, like I said in my last videos, and getting that massive pile of paperwork finalized. But yeah, the file is completely out of our hands now, and it is a very strange but good feeling. Yeah, for everyone who hasn't seen my past videos, I did mention already that because we are based in London, the US Embassy here has a massive backlog right now. So it's completely different from how things used to be, I think, from what I've heard. Back in the day, even just 2 years ago, I think, there might have been cases where people would file their E2 application, only wait about 8 weeks to get their visa interview, and then, I don't know, 2 weeks after that, they'd have their passport back at home, and they could just move whenever they wanted to. So I think it was much easier. But for us, it is definitely a bit different. So since we already know what the situation is like at the London Embassy, we are planning on having to wait maybe around 8 to 9 months, just because I don't want to sit there and wait and wait and wait. I kind of want to work with the worst case scenario. So yeah, we're totally prepared for that timeline, which is fine. We actually heard that there has been this huge backlog recently because of the World Cup, but I'm not sure. I mean, people talk and it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's just how it is. But yeah, because so many people apparently have been trying to get visas to go over to the US to see the World Cup. So maybe now that the World Cup is already going on, things will hopefully start to move a bit quicker for other applications. Who knows? We will see, but I'm positive. So either way, we are ready for everything, and we are just trying to be as patient and hopeful as possible through it all. It's summer, so I'm super happy and glad and just grateful that we are able to try this opportunity and then see where it leads us and yeah, how it goes. But I'm trying to be positive and just grateful that we're coming from treaty countries and that we can do the E2 visa. So yeah, I was thinking, what happens now? Right now, my husband and I are just trying to wait, so there's literally nothing else we can do with the legal side of things. So we've decided to use this time to kind of prepare for the actual move. Of course, we're hoping that the visa will get approved. So we don't want to spend the next maybe 9 months planning for the worst case scenario. We really want to plan for the best case scenario. So I think we truly believe that we put together a really, really good and strong case. So yeah, let's see if it all works out, but here's hoping. So to keep myself sane and productive while we wait, I have created kind of like a 6 months checklist, 6 to 9 months checklist of everything we need to focus on before we leave. So yeah, here's exactly what we have to get done over the next half year. So first up is thinking about what kind of health insurance we're going to go for. Are we going to look for a plan from the UK or Germany? I think there's like long-term, abroad kind of health insurances. Or are we going to look at US-based insurances? I'm not sure. I'm going to do a deep dive into what kind of health insurance is best for expats, especially right at the beginning. We might be looking into doing a temporary policy for the very beginning, just to cover our arrival, and then maybe switch over to something long-term later. If you have any tips, let me know. But yeah, let's see what happens. And then renting a property. Next is really just thinking about where we want to live. We actually already know the exact US city we want to live in, and I'm definitely going to make a completely separate video all about that very soon. But right now we are, I guess, trying to figure out which part of the city we want to live in, because it's such a massive city, has so much to offer, and every corner is so different. So we have narrowed it down to like 2 favorite areas, but we aren't 100% sure yet. We have to organize where we'd want to be and decide if we need to fly over maybe to the US once before the move, just to kind of look at places in person. Or if we're just going to make that final decision from right here in London. It's just something we really need to think about. Yeah, and then kind of like packing, shipping, and maybe donating things. We have to organize all of our shipping and packing. Obviously, I'm really not a person who gets attached to physical items or material things much. I'm not sure why. I guess it's a good thing. My husband's exactly the same, luckily. So because of that, we both know that we want this move to be kind of a true fresh start in the US. So a completely new beginning and a new life, I guess. And I really don't want to travel with like, I don't know, 8 suitcases or drag a mountain of stuff across the ocean. So my plan is to donate a lot of things, sell what we don't need, and then we give a lot of stuff away to our friends here in London and family. And then something that's, I guess, more of a cool, fun thing, a goodbye party and my 30th birthday all in one. Of course, we kind of need to throw a proper goodbye party. And it actually happens to be my 30th birthday, just before we are supposed to leave for the US. That's the current plan anyway. So if you know me personally, you know I'm not really a massive party person. I don't usually throw big parties for my own birthdays, but because of the move, I think it would be so nice to combine my 30th and our big farewell into like a beautiful celebration with everyone we love. I'm not sure if I want to do it in Germany, if I want to do it in London. Something to think about. And then we have to kind of like look at smaller things as well, like I guess smaller admin things on the list. So we have to figure out the exact timing of when we need to officially give our notice to our current landlord in London that we're moving out of our flat. I also want to head over to Germany to get some final health checkups done. And then my husband wants to go to the dentist actually to have a proper checkup before we leave. And then, yeah, I definitely need to squeeze in a final hairdresser visit. It's going to be a pain. I mean, it's such a first world problem, but I have the best hairdresser here in London and I'm going to miss her. But yeah, finally, one of the most important things on my personal checklist is finding a job in media. Since I already work in the media industry and my company is actually headquartered in the US, I'm hoping it will be okay-ish for me to find a role or maybe transfer even. But yeah, at the same time, I know the US market can be very competitive, so it's definitely going to take some focus and networking and just going through the normal interview process. I guess as you can see, even though our application is filed and we're just waiting around for the embassy, there is still a massive amount of stuff to do. But so exciting, so things are moving, I feel like. I would love for you to follow along with us as we take these things off the list over the next half year or so. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today and for supporting me on this journey. If you want to see how the packing, I don't know, the job hunting and the visa news turn out, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and I wish you a great weekend. It's Friday here, so I'm feeling good. The sun is shining. It's weekend, I have my matcha and I'm gonna go for a walk now.